Hi, algebra class. As promised, sorry it's a little bit late, but I am going to do the 5 problems that were on the Socrative quiz, your homework quiz, in case you would like to retake this tomorrow, Friday, before 3 p.m. I will have the quiz up first thing tomorrow morning, and I will close it at 3 p.m. I think I'm going to try the Socrative again, Socrative.com, Rivard 2185. All of our quizzes will be under this. I don't know if that's our room number or whatever, but write that down. That's what they will be under. Okay, I think that I wrote these down exactly how they were on the quiz. The first one was factor a common monomial. So notice that we've got 2 variables here, A and B. What we're trying to do is take out the greatest common factor. This was something that we did in a previous chapter. So we look at the numbers, 18 and 24. Their greatest common factor is 8. And then we look at our terms, a squared and ab. The greatest common factor between these two would just be a. So we have an 8a out front. And then we say 8a times what would give us 16a squared? So that would be 2a minus 8 times what is 24? A times what would give us a times b? And then a great way to check this is to do the distributive property and make sure you get your original expression. So this is all that you would need to write. Number 2, we have 3 terms. The greatest common factor of 4, 20, and 8 is 4. The greatest power of n that we have is just 1n. So 4n times what would give us 4n to the 4th? We need an n cubed here. 4 times what is 20? That would be 5. N times what would give us n cubed? That'd be n squared. 4 times what is 8? 2, and then our n is already there. So if we distributed this, we get 4n to the 4th plus 20n cubed minus 8n. Checks out. All right. Number 3 was factoring a trinomial. Let's go through this. We make our 2 binomials. The last term is positive. That means both of these signs are going to be the same. If the middle term is negative, that means they're both going to be negative. This says they're the same. This says they're both negative. So you've got a W and a W. Now we want 2 numbers that multiply to 5 and add because they're the same side, to 6. That would be 5 and 1. And it doesn't matter if you have the 1 here and the 5 or vice versa. Here's number 4. Now notice number 4, we have it set equal to 0. So first we're going to have to factor, and then we're going to have to use the zero product property and set each factor equal to 0. So let's put down our 2 parentheses here. Both signs are the same. They are both positive. And then we ask ourselves, which 2 numbers multiply to 35 and add up to 12? Run through the factors of 35. There aren't too many. It's going to be 7 and 5. So some of you put this as your answer. You missed 1 point because you didn't complete by solving. So now we apply the zero product property. We set each factor equal to 0, and then we solve. So subtract 7, we get m equals a negative 7, and subtract 5, m equals a negative 5. So on the quiz, if you have something equal to 0, make sure that you finish it off by solving. And then number 5, I thought was a little bit tricky. I think it started out like this. I copied this pretty much from the problems in the book. Remember the problems in the book on page 541? If you're familiar with those, this was an optional assignment, but I posted the answers on the classroom. If you can do these type of problems, you'll be set for the homework quiz. All right, so the second step, or maybe it's the first step in solving quadratics, is to get it equal to 0. So we want to add the 17x over, set this quadratic equal to 0. Then the greatest common factor of 51 and 17. And why am I doing greatest common factor here instead of this type of factoring? Because I only have a binomial. I don't have a trinomial. This is trinomial factoring. Binomial factoring is just greatest common factor. So that will be 17x. 17 times 3 gives us 51. And then, of course, 17 times 1 would give us 17. And if you remember, we did these type of problems before this. I can't remember what day that was, a couple weeks ago now. Because I remember someone asking me, will we always have a factor of 0? And the answer is, you only get an answer of 0. I'm sorry, not a factor. You always get an answer of 0 if you have a binomial and they both have an x term, because you get this out front, and then when you have 17x equals 0, that just is x equals 0. You divide both sides by 17. Then let's set the other factor equal to 0, and we get 3x equals -1. Divide by 3. X is equal to -1/3. Okay, so the homework, quiz, retake will be available from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Friday, tomorrow, March 20th. Okay, the max score is a 9 out of 10. So if you took it and you already got a 9 or above, then don't bother retaking it. All right, hope you all are taking care. Talk to you soon.